Okay, so the last piece of this is just really where we go if you would decide to build a $100 million company. The top of this is going to be innovation and branding. Now, full disclosure here, you can get these out of order. And the only reason why I put it in this order is because I know where most of you came from. Most of you had a model that you were following. You had a formula you were following. You were plugging products into that formula and that model. And that's how you were building your business. So step one for most of you is getting to that seven-figure point. And then it is developing your distribution. And then it's innovation and branding. But full disclosure, in the real world, in the non-bootstrap entrepreneur world, they tend to do it in the opposite order. So if we look at RX Bar, for example, which is sitting back there, which just sold for $600 million to a company called Kellogg, that's the reverse order. Their branding hits you in the face. You see the ingredients in front of you. Then they develop the distribution model. And then it is throwing more products into the mix. So it's a reverse order. Some people, for my favorite clients to work with, Stephen, this would be you. Have distribution, have an audience, have a bunch of people following them. They have the distribution model already figured out. So all we need to do is plug products into it, and all of them can go to 7 or 8 figures very, very quickly. This is why I beat to death the audience building piece of this until people want to punch me, because if you own the distribution, everything else just pumps through very, very quickly. So you could do these in any order. I just put it into this order based on where I know most people who follow what we do here are coming from. So when we have these three dialed in, that's when you have a sellable company. That's when it is, if you want to have a big exit, these are the 3 things that need to be in place in order to get there. And then we have a conversation about what we do with that money, how we give as little of it to the government as possible, and how we automate it for cash flow so that you never have to work again if you don't want to. And we will talk about that a little bit if we have time, and if you want it, we'll talk about cash flow, tax prevention. Is that the legally safe term, tax prevention? We'll just say tax planning and investing for wealth. If we have time at the end of the day, we'll talk a little bit about where I've put the money from my exit and some other things that you can be thinking about now while you are building a company that is producing cash flow, where to put that so you can start to have the security and flexibility even before your company is sold or doing $10 million a year, because you change as an entrepreneur when you have the cash flow piece and the security piece figured out. You get to run your business in a much less stress, smarter way. Can anybody relate to the feeling of I have to make this work because my livelihood depends on it? Yeah, that's not a good place to make good decisions as an entrepreneur. So you're not really free at that point. So if we fix that problem, we can build the company like a real company. All right, so this is kind of the format for building a sellable company and also having a stupidly profitable company. So that's going to lay the context for everything that we talk about. And each of the challenges that you're coming up with along the way, and I know this based on what you've submitted, will be in what is preventing us from getting to each one of those points. So this is our model that you'll be following for, as long as you decide to be in this business, or until you decide to have an exit, whether it's a year from now or 2 years from now or longer. And the purpose of kind of these regular check-ins is to clear all bottlenecks that are preventing you from getting there. Then you come back in 2 quarters or so, we clear the next level of bottlenecks. You come back at the end of the year, we clear those bottlenecks, and we keep on growing forever and ever, amen, until you decide to give your money to Shireen or retire to Costa Rica or whatever you decide to do.